Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. A brilliant win at Anfield for Arne Slot's men as they continue to go marching on as Curtis Jones steals the show. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Yes, this is going to be the instant match reaction to Liverpool's 2-1 victory over Chelsea this evening. Liverpool go back to being top of the table. 10 wins out of 11 in all competitions. 7 wins out of 8 in the Premier League. Arne Slot's men are going strong in what has been noted as their biggest challenge of the season so far. They passed it with flying colours against a Chelsea side who held out for as long as they could. They were a bit awkward to face at times, but ultimately mistakes from Chelsea, Liverpool being clinical, and Liverpool then going on to be very controlling and seeing the game out really well, helped the Reds towards 3 valuable points. We're going to be talking about the game, we're going to be talking about the performance and everything else in between, including, of course, all of the controversial moments. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling. Tell me about what you guys think about the performance, about the result, everything else to go along with tonight's game. Would love to hear what you have to say on this matter. So please do use and abuse that comment section, people, and talk to me and join the discussion on this game. But without further ado, let's go on with the video. Let's talk Liverpool. Let's talk Chelsea. Let's talk the 2-1 win for Arne Slot's men. First and foremost, brilliant win for Liverpool. First and foremost, let me just say, brilliant win, brilliant 3 points. It wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but Liverpool get the job done when it matters most. They were clinical in the final third, and then from there, the rest of the pitch, they had enough about them, then enough quality, enough composure, just to control and see the game out. And realistically, I've got to be honest with you, I didn't feel threatened by Chelsea. Other than 1 or 2 moments near the very end of the game, I did not feel threatened at all by Chelsea. Like, first off, they were overloading the midfield, and that was a common thread throughout the game. They overloaded the midfield. Gusto's inverted role was definitely helping the midfield battle to overload in Chelsea's favour, and they were getting a bit of joy there, but they weren't really doing much with the ball in terms of obviously stopping Liverpool. They stopped Liverpool and then they didn't really have much going forward. Liverpool neutralised them in that respect. Didn't feel threatened at all. They had 2 chances in that first half they put over the bar. Didn't feel threatened at all. Second half, they of course get the equaliser. Liverpool did not come out for the second half of the first 5 minutes. But then when they did get the equaliser, about 75 seconds later or so, Liverpool go on and take the lead again anyway. So it didn't really matter. Like, it was a very, dare I say, comfortable sort of performance by Liverpool. I didn't think Chelsea had that much about them. I thought they were pretty toothless, in all honesty. Barring 1 or 2 moments. I thought when Pedro Neto came on, he gave them a bit of energy, a bit of speed, a bit of directness. But even so, he didn't really have an end product. There was just one moment where Szoboszlai manages to block a Cole Palmer chance after, of course, Neto cuts inside and manages to lay the ball off to him. But other than that, he didn't have anything about him that was cutting edge in that final third. And like I say, I was fairly comfortable with it. I was fairly comfortable with how Liverpool were, how they set up, and everything about them. Some great performances right the way across the pitch. I thought Trent Alexander-Arnold was exceptional defensively. There was one scary moment right in the first half where his tackle on Sancho could have resulted in a penalty. We will get more onto that a little later. But other than that, exceptional defensively. He was absolutely solid. You won't hear anybody talking about it in the media or rival fans because it doesn't quite fit the Trent Alexander-Arnold can't defend agenda. So Liverpool fans don't expect anything to be said about Trent's defensive work, but there has definitely been improvement there. His attacking work wasn't the best. Hasn't been exactly all there so far this season, but defensively he has been quality, has to be said. Kieran Kelleher had very little to do other than pick the ball out the back of the net on one occasion. He made a couple of other saves as well that were fairly comfortable for him. I thought Kanate, apart from the goal, was solid. I thought Van Dijk, apart from the goal that he conceded, was solid. Robertson was brilliant. I thought Gravenberch was solid. Szoboszlai, another hit and miss performance from him today. Salah was brilliant. I thought first half especially. I thought it took him a little bit of time to get used to the challenge of Gusto and how Gusto was playing. But then once he got used to it, we just used him as an outlet. Salah was an outlet, and he just held the ball up well, showed great strength to hold off Gusto, and was just bringing others into play and really setting up attacks that way. I thought he was brilliant first half. And Jota/Nunes, I thought Jota was alright in the first half until obviously he came off, but then Darwin Nunes comes on, and he was brilliant. That first half performance from Nunes was brilliant. Didn't have a lot to feed off in terms of chances, in terms of goal scoring opportunities, but he was putting himself about. He was doing the industrial side of the game. He was winning the ball back for Liverpool. He was starting counter-attacks. He was playing some decent passes through. I want to see more of that from him, especially if he's not going to be scoring goals and he's not going to be, converting chances. I want to see a little bit more of that from him, and especially if, hopefully, and fingers crossed, the Diogo Jota injury isn't too serious. But if it is, we're going to have to be relying on him a bit more than we would do normally. Hopefully we can see more of that side and maybe add a few more goals to Italy as well. Like I say, I like Nunes' all-round play, but it's just this consistency side that I don't like, and that I don't think is going to really be able to live up to the expectations set and the standards set by Liverpool Football Club, which is why I do have a problem with him. But I thought tonight he was great. I don't have any agendas. I just call it as I see it. He was really good tonight. And then the star of the show, like I say, Curtis freaking Jones. That guy was exceptional. And, he gets made an scapegoat a lot by a lot of the Liverpool fan base. And then there were a lot of Liverpool fans that criticise him. Even in that first half, I saw plenty on social media that were criticising him. I've got to say, he was brilliant. Everything good about Liverpool, he was brilliant. He wins as the penalty. He potentially could have won as a second penalty had it not been overturned. And then, of course, he gets the winner. He was absolutely brilliant in so many more ways than just that as well. Like his passing, his movement, his defensive contributions as well. Everything about his game was exceptional. I run out of superlatives for him today. He was brilliant. But the issue now that is, I've seen him play brilliantly tonight. He has to carry that form forward. He has to take that form into the game against Leipzig midweek. He needs to take that form into Arsenal next week. He needs to take that form into the big run of fixtures that we have, including the likes of, your Aston Villas, your Real Madrids, your Manchester Cities, whoever else we've got, your Spurs, everybody. He has to take that form wherever he's going forward. We've got some big tests coming up, big opportunities, big challenges awaiting us. He has to take that form going forward. But yeah, overall, I thought it was controlled. I thought it was measured. And then the goals were really good as well. I thought the build-up play to win the penalty was really good. It was a Stonewall penalty. Colwell on Jones. Stonewall penalty, no question for me. And Salah converts. Ice. Cold. Talking of cold, where was Cole Palmer? Bit of a shrewd move not to play him tonight. Nah, I'm joking, of course. He was there. He had one or two half chances, but nothing more. I do think there is a slight conversation to be had about Cole Palmer, but I'm going to leave that for another day. I'm just going to hang that a little bit just for people to maybe grab onto if they're watching, but I'm just going to leave that a little bit right there. Yeah, Salah converts penalty. We go 1-0 up, and I'm thinking, right, step on their throats, don't let up, kill the game off. We don't necessarily do that. We have an opportunity for a second penalty. That gets overturned. Second half, we obviously concede very early on. Nicholas Jackson, poor defending from Van Dijk and Kanate between the pair of them, losing Nicholas Jackson. It's a simple ball through. and he runs on it. It's a very well taken goal by Jackson as well. I know a lot will be said about, his stats and everything, but it's still a little bit embarrassing that we conceded that goal from, of all people, Nicholas Jackson. But yeah, very well taken goal. Got nothing wrong with that. Ball gets played through. He runs between the two centre backs. They lose him, and then by the time that they realise, he scored. And there was obviously a VAR check, and it turns out that Konate's leg is playing him onside, which is annoying and frustrating. But we were only on level terms for, like I say, roughly about 75 seconds before Curtis Jones puts the ball into the back of the net. And again, Mohamed Salah, absolutely exceptional. His cross perfectly picks out the late run of Curtis Jones. The Chelsea defence is all over the place, and Jones manages to prod the ball beyond Sanchez and wins Liverpool the game in the end, as it turns out. Liverpool go on and see the game out somewhat comfortably. One or two, like I say, hairy moments, but for the most part, pretty comfortably. They're controlled, they're measured, and they see the game out to win the 3 points. Fantastic win. Can't really say too many bad things about Liverpool, but at the same time, I can't really say too much overly positive about them. Yes, we get the win. It's not quite the statement victory that I was looking for. I was really looking for us to put a few more goals beyond them and to really kind of make a statement, especially after this weekend with Arsenal dropping points. And earlier on today, City came very close in somewhat controversial circumstances themselves of almost dropping points. So, yeah, not quite the big statement win that I was hoping for, but a win is a win nonetheless. And of course, this is our biggest challenge of the season so far. So we've overcome another obstacle, and we've overcome another challenge that rival fans, I'm sure, will now shift the goalpost to that, oh, it's only Chelsea. You need to go and test yourself against Arsenal next week. If we do go on and win the Arsenal game, I wonder where the goalpost will be shifted next. But that is obviously for next week to determine. Yeah, big performances all round. Some really good ones, some not so good ones. Like I say, Kelleher didn't really have much to do other than pick the ball out the back of his net. Szoboszlai, again, hit and miss. Other than that, though, really good performances, I felt. And now we've got to talk about the controversial moments. We talked about all the good stuff. We've got to talk about the controversial moments. We've got to talk about the referee. I thought the referee had a very poor game. Very, very poor game. I think he lost the game early on. And then as the game wore on, it seemed like every sort of 50-50 and every slight foul on a Chelsea player, he was just buying it. He was just gifting them free kicks at will. He also found 7 minutes completely out of thin air, it seemed, for the ending of the game. I don't know where he picked up 7 minutes of added on time at the end of the 90, but, whatever. But yeah, it seemed it. And the one buying of free kicks that summed it up for me was Darwin Núñez right at the end. It's a slight shoulder barge. It's a muscle versus muscle for the ball. And he gives Chelsea a free kick, and Núñez and Slot are both extremely frustrated and they absolutely lose it at that. But I felt the referee had a very poor game for both sides because both sides suffered some very questionable and controversial decisions. I briefly mentioned earlier the Trent Alexander-Arnold one on Jadon Sancho. I think he does get away with it. At first I thought it was a bit of a tangling of legs, but upon review and upon seeing it, it is a little clumsy from Trent, and I'm a little bit surprised that the penalty was not given, in all honesty. So I think he gets away with one a little bit there. The next one was Adebayo on Jota. It's an exact, or pretty much an exact carbon copy of the Saliba one yesterday that we talked about. It's pretty much the exact same thing that William Saliba got sent off for yesterday for Arsenal. This time it is Adebayo on Diogo Jota, and it's only a yellow card. And Jota picks up an injury, which he tries to carry on with during that moment, but eventually he can't. He is then replaced by Núñez. And the reason why it wasn't overturned supposedly is because Colwell was in the vicinity of the challenge, and allegedly because of that there was an opportunity for him to get back. My argument is that with the momentum of Jota going forward, if he doesn't make that challenge, Jota's through on goal regardless. And the two Chelsea players are on the wrong side. The only way Colwell gets back in front of him is if he does make the challenge. So I'm questioning which one was right and which one was wrong. Because I think they're both red card decisions. But of course, if you're a referee in that moment and you make two different decisions, one of them obviously is wrong. So I'm questioning this to referees. Which one was wrong? Which one was right? Because you'll say that Colwell was in the vicinity, but I'm not buying it. I'm really not buying it. I did originally, and then I look back at it and go, well, Jota's still got a clear run on goal. He's still going to get there ahead of Colwell anyway. So they're both going to be on the wrong side of Jota for the goal. I don't know. Like, maybe I need to see it again from a different angle. I don't know. I'm a bit confused with that one, and I think Chelsea did get away with it a little bit on that one. So I'd call that 1-1 maybe in terms of referees getting it wrong for both teams. And then there was the controversy of the second penalty, which was originally given on the pitch and then overturned. And this kind of ties in, what I'm about to say kind of ties in with the Adebayo situation. I've been on this crusade now for a long, long time, but more so in the past couple of weeks than any. What exactly counts as clear and obvious? Can someone honestly tell me what exactly counts as clear and obvious? Because when I first saw the penalty, I thought, it is a penalty. I agree with the referee's decision. I then watched it back and I'm questioning why Curtis Jones just doesn't put the ball into the back of the net. I'm questioning that, but I'm also saying it's a penalty. I watched it from the two different angles that, of course, Sky showed, and my mind kind of changed a little bit. He gets contact on the ball first and then makes contact with Jones. It's awkward the way the goalkeeper does it, but he does it nonetheless. There's questioning over whether he gets enough of the ball. And my two questions on this is, number one, if that foul happens outside the penalty area, does that get blown up for a free kick? In my opinion, it does. So why should it be any different for if it's in the box? Because although there's no stud showing, Sanchez's leg does go over the ball and then crashes into Jones. So, in my opinion, that's a foul. The second part is, again, what is clear and obvious? Because it was given on the pitch. The VAR then recommends to go and review it. He then goes and reviews it and then overturns his original decision. What is clear and obvious? How do you determine what is clear and obvious? And what factors do you consider to be clear and obvious? Because I don't know anymore what VAR is used for. I don't know anymore what clear and obvious is. I didn't even know earlier about the whole Man City second goal thing. I don't know what VAR and the PGMOL, are saying anymore, and I don't even think they do anymore. To the point where I don't even know what the rules are, and I don't even know what this huge grey area, which refereeing officials seem to hide behind so much. Clear and obvious, clear and obvious, clear and obvious. I'm lost. I'm really, really lost, and I don't get it. I really don't get it. I just don't get it. I really, really, really don't get it. But yeah, it is what it is. And the worst part about it is that you won't hear. I mean, you won't hear media coverage on this. You won't, because Liverpool won. If Liverpool hadn't won, you might hear a bit more about it. But because Liverpool won, they'll sweep it under the carpet as well. The right team won. It's fine. But no one talked about the Adebayo situation at half time. Gary Neville and the commentary team were very quickly to kind of sweep it under the carpet, even when the moment was happening. At the same time, I still don't think many people will really talk about the Trent thing as well, so I think that's kind of wrong in a way itself. And not many people will talk about the second penalty either. So it will all get swept under the carpet, and it will be like, yes, VAR did well. Yes, referees did really well today. They didn't. The referee lost control. The VAR was poor. Everything about the officials in this game was terrible, in my personal opinion. And things would get swept under the carpet. And lastly, another negative note, Gary Neville. I do not want that guy commentating on Liverpool games ever, ever, ever again. The same way that I don't really want Jamie Carragher to, because of his own sort of biases, and sometimes he talks absolute waffle as well. But I do not want Gary Neville commentating on Liverpool games ever again. I'm sure he'll be also happy with that if he ever heard this. But honestly, everything that went for Chelsea, he was all for. And everything that went for Liverpool, he was questioning and all against, and was like, what the hell is this referee doing? And every decision that, of course, they brought in Mike Dean for, they were just agreeing with each other. They were holding hands and agreeing with each other on everything. It was quite sickening, to be honest, and very annoying, very frustrating. And I just do not want either of them, to be honest. I don't want Jamie Carragher. I don't want Gary Neville. And you can also throw in Mike Dean in there if you want. I don't want any of them commentating, because they do not add anything to the commentary, and they do not add anything but me just wanting to hit the mute button whenever they speak. So, yeah, that's my little rant out of the way about VAR today. That's my little rant about Gary Neville. The main part, though, is Liverpool get the job done. Liverpool win by 2-1 against Chelsea. Liverpool go marching forward. 3 more points to add to the collection. 10 wins out of 11. 7 wins out of 8 in the Premier League. And they remain top of the table, and they have Curtis Jones, the star of the show, to thank. Those have been the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Liverpool today? What do you make of the performance, the result against Chelsea? What do you make of Chelsea, by the way? I feel like I'm overdue a bit of a Chelsea video, something that I've purposely been putting off that I may again talk about later on this week. But I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, mate, for great and interesting reading down there. So please do use and abuse that comment section, people, at your will. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up if you enjoy the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. Thank you all for your continued or even brand new support. It is very much appreciated and awesome as always. So I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video / instant match reaction to Liverpool's big 2-1 win over Chelsea. Fantastic result by the Reds today. Liverpool still marching forward, still top of the league as we head into a very busy and very challenging period of games for the Reds. Up the Reds! And I will see you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Speak to you all again very, very soon.